Okay, so now it's time to talk about the chair. I have to tell you that it doesn't matter whether it's an old chair or a new chair, people keep making the same mistake. Most people adjust their chair so they can sit comfortably, which is totally wrong. You're not supposed to adjust your chair so you can sit comfortably. You're supposed to adjust your chair so you can work comfortably. And it's not the same thing. But before I demonstrate what you do and the mistake you make in terms of the adjustment, I can tell you a mistake that you have in terms of manufacturers, which was done from ergonomic recommendations that make no sense at all. And that is these armrests. Armrests cause more discomfort than benefit by far. They get in the way when people are multitasking. They want to turn from one surface to the other. They can't. We see people sitting perched on their desk. They don't even know they're on the front edge of their chair. They don't even realize they're doing it as they move from one surface or whatever, for whatever reason, was in their workstation. A lot of times people are so petite, I don't care if the armrests are adjustable or not, they end up getting in the way. They can't even get up to their desk surface. They don't work, they don't help, and they're completely unnecessary. We already talked about our physical anatomy that allows us to work for long periods of time without any discomfort by working like this. Get rid of the armrest. The armrest, not necessary. Now, the next point is, most people adjust so they can sit comfortably, like I said. And how do they do that? They adjust it so they can, oh wow, is this ever comfortable? By the way, I've seen a lot of chairs that only adjust to this point. But then what do? People end up doing like this. They work like this all day long. It's funny because we'll say to them, how do you like your chair? They go, oh, it's wonderful, thank you very much. And then they're back up here again. We call them the incredible shrinking people because the day wears on, their back gets tired, and down they go. At the end of the day, they're working like this, and they're wondering why their back is so sore. But you know, it's not just their back that gets sore. What happens, we see people do a lot of pain transfer, especially while they're still fresh. So in other words, they'll work like this until their back's sore, and then they'll do this and raise their arms up from here, and work like this until their shoulders are sore, and then work like this until their back is sore, and then work like this until their shoulders are sore, and it's just back and forth. Totally can be eliminated by one simple adjustment. Adjust the chair back so you're sitting upright. In fact, that's a simple rule. Want to know how to adjust your chair? Sit up straight and adjust the chair back to support that. Now I like to have it just slightly back from that, and so you're a little bit leaning into it. But now you have a good upright posture. By the way, if you just sit in a chair like this, it feels like you're going to be pushed out of the chair. But the moment you bring your hands up in front of you, into a home roll, into a keying position, it makes so much sense because now you have total working comfort and no problem in lower back. Now, problem with that is you do need a good chair. Most of you have the right chair, but a lot of chairs, unfortunately, are called ergonomic and they're not. And those are chairs that were designed based on anthropometric data from the 60s. As Dr. Tim Springer has explained to me, that was the only data available about human anatomy. Problem is, it was on men, mostly men, fit men. And you know what? They have one very big distinct difference between men and female anatomy, and that is size of their bums. Women have bigger bums, and the heavier women get, the bigger their bums get. And what does that do? Well, that raises them up. It raises the height of their lower lumbar. And you know what? A lot of chairs don't accommodate it. Those of you who have the right chairs, make sure you take the time. This actually is an excellent chair. This chair is an excellent for a few reasons. One of which, the shape of the back actually resembles the human back. I see so many chairs, I don't even know where they get the design from because it certainly doesn't follow a human's back. Be careful because there's some chairs that actually look like this, but there's nothing here. You actually can push in the fabric and it goes in, which means there's actually no support. There'll be a bump here and then nothing here. Your back's going to hurt in that. This chair provides a perfect support for me. Now, but I said, how about women? Women who have bigger and bigger bums, what do they need? They need something like this. A chair that can raise up the back support to support them. Now, that might look excessive, but believe me, I've seen people that this is still not high enough. This chair, you can also adjust the seat pan and bring it out. It is dipped up, adjustable. It can come out to accommodate bigger people. And yes, it's very common. You know what? I have so many times gone into offices and seen people either have not adjusted their chair properly, women who are heavy, and I go to them and I say, tell me, do you ever experience any physical discomfort during your working day? And they'll say, oh, my back hurts so bad, it's so sore. To what do you attribute your discomfort? And you know what they'll say? It's because I'm overweight. You know what? Say, if you fall into that category, I'll say the same thing to you that I say to them. You may be overweight, but you have every right to work without discomfort as anybody who's thinner than you. You have that right to work without discomfort. And it's as simple as having a chair that will accommodate you, accommodate where your lower lumbar is. So this is a very, very key point. Having a chair that will provide for that. Of course, for me, I need it somewhat lower than this. But it is a big problem.